a little bit of a fight here from Team Secret. So let's see if the bans will show us something spicy, or it's just going to go with that neutral, normal that we see here on this particular map.
I totally agree with you, as I always do. I just want to see as many rounds as possible out of this one. The last couple of games I've done have been very, very quick on the whole. So looking at our bans, Maverick coming in, no surprises there on Clubhouse. That's going to be to protect those hatches. Are they're going to double down, Jess? Do we see a second hard breach ban?
A lot of teams are doing this double hard breach ban with the Maverick, maybe the Hibana, because Hibana is super strong on this map, especially with those hatches. Someone did make a little bit of a mention. Someone might have popped out of the game, and there we go. Hibana has been banned as a result. I do know for a fact that these double hard breach bans are going to be very possible, or rather are very usual on Clubhouse, and I'm not surprised to see them both go out. I think yesterday we saw it done on Clubhouse, so I don't want to say this is becoming the new meta, especially with Ace involved, but looking like it.
So it seems that we're moving on to our defensive bans then. We've got Valkyrie going by the wayside, and we will have one more defender going as well. It looks like we've just had a slight problem with Hive along the way, so I think once these bans are cleared away, we can expect a little pause while we come back to us, and we will get Hive back in, and once the teams are ready to go, we'll get things underway. But Valkyrie obviously taking away a lot of information there, and Wamai, we're seeing a bit of an increase in Wamai bans recently, Jess.
Yeah, I know it was, and welcome back to our faces, by the way, that whilst that pause does come into effect, but I love when you're on the screen, Ace, because you always got that cute little smile. You always look like you're so happy to be wherever you are at all times, so I love it. It keeps the vibes high. But for my specifically, it was BDS that used to main that ban all of last year. When Mize introduced, BDS said, nope, we want it gone. It was almost 100% ban rate for BDS. Other teams started to pick it up in the weeks following, and then it sort of died off as the 20-second meta died off. So naturally, I think that ban is more of a preference against certain teams that do rely on it a little bit. And I'm going to bring up my stats in a moment and confirm with you. I'll get back to you about that one, Ace.
Well, we're moving back in, nice and swift. Hopefully not too swift for the whole game. No, as I said, we want plenty of action coming out of this one, but we've got Hive straight back in there. The banning phase just taking up a lot of his reboot time. Now, we've got a pretty standard lineup there, apart from that Pirano switch onto the Amaru. Now, this is going to be attacking Church and Arsenal, so I'm not too sure about the thinking with that one. There's not too many opportunities for any sort of surprise attack as such, or sort of zipping up and down hatches. I suppose they've got the potential option, I have seen it done, of getting the diffuser down and then using the Amaru grapple claw to get up out of one of the hatches to sort of overwatch your plan, possibly.
Yeah, look, I like it. It's all good in theory, but in practice, it is almost never possible, right? There is no way you get that down. You go, all right, I'm zip lining out of here. Like, no, that doesn't really ever happen.
I saw Macy J do it on stream though once, Jess.
Yeah. If Macy J can do it, anyone can do it. Shout out to our man Macy J, by the way. I have seen it worked beautifully for him on Consulate. However, it's Clubhouse, a little less to work with here, but maybe he just shoots in top floor here, Ace.
Possibly looking to get that quick roam clear underway. We'll see just exactly how... I mean, he's just sat on top of a roof at this point, so I'm really starting to question that operator pick. We'll see as the round develops. Maybe there'll be a great reason for it. Maybe it's just for the weapon, but you've got to squeeze everything you can out of these operator compositions. So, you know, questions for me do need to be asked at that point. If you're not using that gadget because you brought a different operator who would have been more useful in the mid to late round.
Well, the good thing here will be that he has the flashes as well, and well, when you've got the angle grip and everything to work with here on that particular weapon, I think it's a good operator, especially if you want to frag out. A lot of people will say, don't simplify her down to that. Well, unfortunately, that's what Amaru comes down to most of the times. She's got the flashes as well, and I mean, even if the grapple hook's not used, it doesn't really mean that much. I think the desk have spoke heavily about that early aggression that Rogue likes to put on this very particular map that we've seen them play quite recently. So for them to start aggressing onto main stairs that way, it's going to be rips this time. And well, he'll try and get a couple of those drones. They'll spot him out. But I think for the most part, the big problem here will be is that Secret knows how to get really good vertical holds. I'm just worried for Rogue is that they just get too aggressive and start handing away free kills.
Well, Rips dips out of that main corridor and gets himself back to safety inside of boxes. We can see that Rogue Rogue's defense has been very much focused around the site itself, which has allowed Team Secret to get themselves in, take complete control over top and mid floor. Halfway through the round, and they're making good progress here. Hatches are starting to be opened. All the vertical angles inside and around the kitchen have been opened up as well. There's going to be a lot of pressure for Rogue to absorb here.
And they've still got over 60 seconds to work with here. I wonder what the push is going to be, because Blue Hatch was only half opened by that summer charge, so I am interested. And they should know that Aces is playing this. Literally the other day, Aces played here with the shotgun of Ella, so they should know he's going to be playing hyper-aggressive there. I hope that's not where they plan to get this plant down here, Ace. The problem will be, he'll swing, he'll just pop that auto shotty into everyone's faces, but looks like a lot of the attention is going over to Blue for now, as does most teams when they do want to do a moto push. They need to be careful of Aces. He'll be the big thorn in their side.
Crying is going to come under pressure very, very soon, I think, but we've just got a few goo mines being applied there from Rips to try and slow things down. We've got Prano and Gomfi both looking to push onto this Jaeger at the same time. Shots are raining through the church wall and just trying to catch anybody out inside of sight, but they won't have any joy with that at the minute. It's Draven who opens things up with a nice headshot onto Leon there, leaving us 5 versus 4, 4 versus 3 as kills start to rain in. This is the Church and Arsenal bloodbath in action here. It's Rogue coming out on top of almost all of the gun battles. 3 versus 1, 4 seconds left to go, and this is a mountain for Hype. It's too big, I am certain, for him to climb. As round 1 goes to Rogue, it's a great defense from them to start things off.
Something that I don't always say about Corey as a player is that the way he used his utility then was so smart. I'm not saying that a 1v3 was going to come out of Hive there and a clutch 1vx situation would hit his stats. I'm just saying, just being aware that even though you have numbers, keep using your utility. You got smoke babes in your pocket. All right, block off all the entries. And Corey did a really good job of that right there. So I really do want to give it to him. It was almost a team ace, but you know, there you go. Hive, he survives at the end. And as a result, that is a round firmly in the hands of Rogue. I was a little bit worried about what that Ella shotgun could do. We only got 1 for the trouble, but nevertheless, it's a good round for Rogue. Not hyper convincing, though, because early round, Secret looked good.
They did, and those bloodbaths are always dangerous because it can be a toss of a coin sometimes. This time, Rogue coming out on top. But looking forward now to round 2, we are heading up to CCTV and Cash, and this is a site that I want to pick your brain about, Jess. It's been difficult to defend for many teams so far. What changes can be done? What is required to successfully defend here?
I like that Rogue bring Maestro. I know this is like an OG kind of composition. People are like, oh yeah, you used to put like, you know, one of those evil eyes in over towards Garage. You'd have all of these lines of sight. They've also got that bulletproof camera from Leon. I mean, there's so much intel, even with the Valkyrie ban. And I like that. They've got, oh, we don't have Valkyrie, no problems. We'll bring other things. So for me, I think they're bringing Maestro on this map statistically over the past 6 months over about 70% of the time. That is a lot. That means it's a mainstay operator for you. And I would have argued Secret should have banned that. So there's a bigger conversation here, I think.
Now then, Team Secret, we can see already approaching that east breach, looking to get things open. And this is one of the key areas that we've spoken about when we look at this site, is how easily this wall is now being opened. Attackers have got it absolutely perfected. And you can see there, inside of 40 seconds, Team Secret getting that open. And the progress is very quick from them again, opening up that logistics hatch. We can expect a drop from Hive potentially quite soon. He's going to drone himself in there, and that's going to allow pressure to start mounting on the site very, very quickly inside the round here. Rogue absorbed that well last time around. If you remember briefly back to round 1, Church and Arsenal, they were under the hammer down there for about a minute and a half, and they did very well. It's going to be the same or similar here, I would imagine.
My problem is that Secret looks to be one of the fastest attacking teams when it comes to utility so far today, by far. And I mean, Kavana ran through Empire, but I still think this has looked to be the most confident early round of a team today. And there's more matches to go, so make sure you do settle on in. And Aces, SMG long range, look at him, screaming to his team. Yes, let the boys know you're fired up, because this is absolutely Rogue back on track here, ladies and gentlemen. A dual pinch opening here for Secret, but when your long range Zofia is gone from outside the platform, you're missing that pressure. And I tell you what, that is going to hurt Secret.
Gomfi just got sat down there. There are no two ways That one, no other way to call it. Now then, Draven's just got himself the little foot peak hole opened up through the construction wall. That's going to allow him to apply some pressure into Cash. So the good thing going on for Secret at the minute is the fact that they've got both breaches open. So there is no longer any safety inside of Cash. There's no longer any safety inside of CCTV, but there is safety. There is safety in the chamber of Leon's rifle as he finds himself a kill. Crying will never know that he was aimed onto a man there and just dips away from that blue stairs windows fight. Draven manages to get one back, but this is all going in the favour of Rogue right now. Secret, they're going to have to do something. They're going to have to think of a plan B, and Sleben moves in with plan B. Just gets himself a nice headshot and takes control over Garage Catwalk, but Crying on the roam, not shut down, manages to get the trade. 2 versus 2, and very similar. Coming down to the last 10 seconds as we saw in round 1 here. It's going to come down to these very final kills. We find ourselves 1 versus 1. It's Corey, rig around the roses, finds Prano, and shuts down round 2 for Rogue, and right now, all of those 50-50 gunfights, all of those moments that could go one way or another, they are falling in the favour of Rogue.
Beautiful bit of play-by-play there, Ace. Oh, I had goosebumps top to bottom. I wasn't even sure which way that round was going to go, especially when you had the Thatcher swinging into Garage, getting that kill on that control. But guess what? Crying, for some reason, downstairs with the Maestro. I mean, whatever works for you, buddy. The Elder goes brr, no matter where you are on the map. Works out yet again here for Rogue. Don't want to be that person that puts a little bit of a dampener on things here, and I don't think this will be a dampener in any way, shape, or form, but over the past 6 months, Rogue has had a perfect, split of attacking wins and defending wins on this map. So I think a team ought to be quite terrified of a team like Rogue, who can do just as good on their attacks as they can do on their defenses. That means they're a well-rounded team, and that is scary.
Team Secret must be feeling the fear a little bit now because they are 2 down. They're coming into the tertiary site, which is gym and bedroom, which, as I said already, CCTV Cash has been difficult to defend. If anything, we've seen the better win rate here in gym and bedroom. It's certainly been 50-50 or so, whereas CCTV, you've been lucky to win 20 or 30% of defences in there. So Rogue are sitting pretty right now coming into gym and bedroom.
Well, Crying, no Maestro this time. He's got that Legion to work with, and they're going to put a Banshee downstairs. And you know why? Well, that's because he was playing downstairs before, and I don't think the Maestro is the fastest operator to do it with. So instead, this time, he'll have the Legion.
Getting into the action phase then. Once again, Team Secret on the attack, going to be moving, I would expect, quickly, as we've seen from them previously, and that is initially what we see. We've got Draven getting straight up there, putting shots into construction, trying to make Rogue feel unseated, trying to make them feel a little bit unsteady, and so far Rogue have absorbed that early pressure from Team Secret really, really well, and that aggression, we see teams bring it to try and open things up, force mistakes, but right now Rogue having none of it.
I'm glad they're deciding to get this jacuzzi wall opened up first. They have an ace to work with if they want to open the platform wall up over near Kennels, so they don't have to split themselves. You know, it doesn't have to be Prano running from one breach to the other breach, etc. They can deal with it how they need to. They've also got a Thatcher to work with thanks to the 2 hard breach bans. I like this. We used to see Thatcher banned every map. It got so boring to the point where I stopped remembering how you could even play Thatcher anymore. So it's good to see that Thatcher's now back into the mix because there are other operators that ought to be gotten rid of quicker or more often. And this aggression that we saw from Ace is that long-range shot over onto the Zofia last time is something he's looking to repeat here onto the platform of Jacuzzi as he stands in gym wall and they're spotting him out.
Team Secret have got a lot of pressure coming on from Jacuzzi there, but I've just got a slight concern that all 5 of them are stacked up and there's only so many guns can be active at any one time from a tight angle like that. Sleben will find himself a kill onto Aces. I'm just interested to see how this round pounds out without the construction and cash pressure and whether Team Secret find themselves coming up to a bit of a roadblock here. But they do manage to open that bathroom wall, which is great for them. They can start pressure, and you can see now Rogue being pushed deeper into sight.
This is going to be great for them because they have over 60 seconds to work with here. One-dimensional pushes onto this site aren't that bad as long as you have that vertical control, which I think they are lacking here, Ace. They want to push in and get it done, and the only person to really challenge will be Leon, but no vertical control can spell danger, and there's not enough bullets in here for Leon to go absolutely nuclear unless they give him reload time.
Team Secret getting themselves established inside a site here. They're finding kills. Hive takes a headshot onto Leon, and we know 4 versus 3. There is plenty of time left on this clock now. Rips, he manages to, does not find one. I thought he had the kill hold here. Long gone to Hive, but no, Hive will end the life of the bandit and take him off the map. 30 seconds left to go, and this is panic stations for Rogue now as Cryan moves into logistics, tries to find anything that he can, but he's super low health. The diffuser's going down. Prano's focused on the task at hand, and he has been successful. That now means Cryan has got about 33 seconds to turn this round around for his team. Tries to get himself the long angle, but as he opens it up, who else is there waiting? Slevin jaws wide to gobble up the Legion and finish off the round. Team Secret get themselves started on Clubhouse.
Well, there you go. It took a little bit, but they did make it work. And something interesting that we didn't really spot there as Cryan was, dodging around all of that logistics was that overall, that shift of the plant was what was necessary considering they knew they didn't have that vertical. No one was below. I criticized them for it when they had that one-dimensional push through Jacuzzi, and they went, okay, that's fine. We'll just go over and plant in bedroom now that we have control. Good read of the situation. No one was necessarily there for the vertical, but it's good adaptation to what's going on the round and going, okay, we need to move. We need to make a play. I think Team Secret has a really good foundation, and I think they know what they want to do in a round here, Ace. It's just unfortunate that Rogue is trying to throw early spanners into the works, and it's just catching them off guard.
Certainly is. And I mean, Team Secret, we've seen them move quickly so far. Do you think there's maybe an opportunity here? We see Rogue setting up down in Church and Arsenal once again here in round 4. They didn't play any top floor or mid floor roam at all last time around.
Right.
Is that maybe something they do to try and slow Team Secret down?
It's hard because a turtle strategy can often work when you've got things like a Kaid and you've got a Thatcher ban, and it makes sense to try and delay from a turtle strategy, but not so much when things can be opened up really quickly. And Secret have been showing us they can be a quick team. I think what they're doing now is that common barricade everything off strategy, and then we know where they are at all times, and maybe that will stall them out. I don't necessarily agree with it. I do hope they try and collect those drones on main stage. You can see Rips now sort of putting a lot of goo mines around. It's just delay tactics against a team that hasn't really been delayed. We'll see if it works, though.
Cryan is up on the top floor with the Jaeger. We'll see how long exactly he commits to that, or whether he starts to drop himself back to site as if he's in a game of Plinko, just dropping down level to get back down there quickly. Or not. It depends how he feels the pressure from Team Secret, but we can see already they've got the hot tub wall open. They've used that soft destruction to get themselves quickly into the top floor, and Team Secret showing once again that they are meaning business. Hive is moving through on the sledge. He's being hot droned in there. Great footage that we got of that. There is information available ahead of him immediately. He starts to open up vertical angles as well, and inside 50 seconds again, Rogue are feeling pressure inside of sight.
I like this from Secret because we've criticized them week after week for not putting really good, consistent results on the board, but you can tell from the way that they're taking map control on a pretty default map in the map pool here in the competitive, pool, that they know what they need to do. I just don't know what it is. Maybe it's late round. The execution's really not coming together the way we saw it in gym. Maybe they're getting caught off guard by something they haven't adapted or prepared for, and that's kind of how it feels here. But for the most part, looks like they're doing everything they need to apply pressure to Rogue. C4 ripped out from Corey is ready for main stairs. No one's there just yet, but there is an Evil Eye which is looking down towards main stairs. That will feed the intel to Corey, and once they spot someone, it's kaboom.
Right now, Rogue feel pretty settled down here. We've got Leon playing out in Dirt Tunnel. Everybody seems to have just got themselves away from those vertical angles. They've just been pushed back, but they're happy to play like that. You know what? No problem. We'll move away. Team Secret, they're losing a little bit of time here, fighting around this kitchen hatch, trying to just ensure that the Selma is successful in opening up the hatch and doesn't get impact tricked out. But you can see that those attempts do continue, and this is not going to be an easy push for Team Secret without that hatch being fully open, and a lot of utility is being sort of cemented on there really to try and ensure that it does get opened. Aces is going to get downed on the Maestro. There's going to be no picking him up, I wouldn't imagine. Corey manages to find one though on the Nitro onto Gomfi, so he's been waiting the longest time for that, showing some great patience. And Aces, for all that I thought, he does manage to wriggle away, so we find ourselves 5 versus 4 now, and Team Secret are left with a hatch drop here. They have no control of blue, no control of dirt, no control of church wall, and they are starting to get hit as Leon finds a kill onto Hive, but they continue persisting. They try to get that diffuser down. Can they lock it in? Prano keeps going. No. Rips and Crying, they get into sight and they rip away any sort of joy that Team Secret thought they might be able to find there. Sleben tries to find the men, can only get one. Rogue, another round successful there, and it just felt too one-dimensional for Church and Arsenal to me, all on that kitchen hatch.
That kitchen hatch can work if you have bottom main stairs cross control and a cross control from the top of kitchen hatch. Draven had to drop because unfortunately people were crossing over from Church that shouldn't have been allowed to cross. Do I want to say that that's Sleben's fault? I don't know, because I didn't spot when he actually did rotate to the bottom of main stairs. But if that's going to be the linchpin of your drop and plant, you haven't cleared dirt and there are players running at you from double stacks, you've got a problem. You haven't cemented the strategy or got the crossfires that you need to even get the plant down, so why bother? Go for kills at that point, if you ask me. A little sloppy. Early round seems so promising from Secret. It's like you see a big present shaped as a car on Christmas. It's got a huge bow on it, and it's like you walk out and you're like, whoa, you got me a car, and you open it up and it's just coal. That's what Secret is like to me. Just seems like a big pile of coal.
Just cardboard boxes stacked up in the driveway and covered with a sheet.
Wow, that's how it is. Worst analogy ever, but it's like looking at the best present and then getting a pile of boxes. That's how Secret feels.
So Team Secret, they are finding themselves with an abundance of time on their hands. Time is certainly not a commodity that they are short of here on Clubhouse. They really are having the run of things in the early round. They're getting in there, they're acting quickly, they're taking map control, but they're not able to make that pay in the late round. And I think part of that is coming down to a late opening kill time quite often. We're coming into the final minute, 5 versus 5 quite often.
Well, considering that Rogue have been a little bit turtle-like in their holds here, that's probably worked in their favour, and stalling out time, sure, it's been working, no problems. I think Team Secret have kind of given it to them 9 times out of 10. And now what they're doing is they're going to bait this exothermic on the wall time and time again, placing it in the middle. No, placing it on the right. That's going to give Aces the wrong indication as to which panel it was. And the other EU Play Day, we criticised teams for placing it on the middle panel because, well, it could be easily bandit trick. Won't be Secret's fault here today. They'll get that wall wide on open. And as a result, that speed, that initial prowess that we see from Secret looking promising, but I mean, if, sort of everything repeats itself again, it's going to go downhill rather quickly.
Gomfi just maybe learning his lesson a little bit there. He's not up on the catwalk on the Zofia this time. If we remember last time around, he was shut down from long range, and he certainly seems to be taking a different tack there and looking to push onto Garage instead. Now, Draven and Hive just looking to mount this pinch pressure again that we saw from them last time around. This is the same push from Secret. Get on both sides, open up cash, open up construction, open up that east breach, and just make it so there is very little area inside of sight. But Aces rotates round and gets the bandit trick successfully onto the Selma device. That's great play from him.
Where's Hype with the grenades? I mean, this should be timed perfectly. They know there's a bandit on board. This is an easy kill if you cook the ADS and bounce that grenade over the top. Aces should not be allowed to do this. The EMP on the roof will go up. The grenade will go a little bit too far, and Aces has a possibility to work with this here. Run on it, my friend. You've got it. That's all within your time range. And as a bandit tricker myself, I knew he had that with seconds to spare.
I love the satisfaction of a good bandit trick, Jess. I've got to say, there's nothing better than when you hear that little, and you know know the sound I'm talking about. Yeah, the little electrical short, and you know that you've just taken down that hard breach utility. But right now, Team Secret need to start taking down some players. They are still 5 versus 5. Rogue, they are stacked up inside here, and they are proving to be a very difficult rock to move. There is absolutely no shift in them inside of CCTV and Cash, and that is surprising considering that the East breach is open. They are limited as to their movement inside now, but Secret have just not been able to clear them out. Draven does start things going with a kill onto Leon, traded however by Rips. 4 versus 4, and we see the kills once again in the last 15-20 seconds just raining out. Prano hit with an impact there. The disrespect coming in will get downed, and that leaves us effectively now 3 versus 3. 5 seconds left to go. Time is going to be a huge factor for Team Secret here. They decide to just bull rush on into site and try and find the kills, but no. Rogue, they managed to run away. They managed to stay alive another day and put another round on the board. That is 4-1 now.
The person who got pokeballed from the bottom stairs of blue into oil pit, he was the one there, Prana, with the diffuser in hand. That's as unlucky as you can get. Everyone else had already run safely. Well, when I say safely, predominantly safely into garage. He's the last one to enter with the diffuser neatly and safely in hand, and all of a sudden impact comes flying at your face. Not much you can do in that situation. Had he have been alive, maybe they could have got the plant down. I think with that kind of chaos that was going on in sight and with crying going down on the Maestro, it would have been possible. But Rogue, they seem to control the end game of every single round with complete prowess. Nothing that Team Secret is doing here has been working except for on this exact site. Rogue know they've lost this site before. What are they going to change to do, to deal with Secret that they haven't done last time?
You've got a feel for Secret, really. They've been doing so many things right. Getting themselves in quickly, getting control, finding kills. But it just always seems to come down to those last 2 or 3 deaths that they find themselves on the wrong side of. Now, we are heading into round 6. It's going to be the final defensive round for Rogue. We've seen Gym and Bedroom attacked by Team Secret previously. They all stacked up on that jacuzzi wall. It was a heavy jacuzzi push this time. How do Rogue go about countering that if they're going to adapt here?
I want to see exactly what they do in the late round. Secret are struggling with their late round. There is no doubt in my mind that early round doesn't need work. It's already really, really good. It's that they're not dealing with the late round. When it comes to Rogue, however, you know what they've done? Their adaptation? Well, you opened bathroom last time. How about I put a mirror on it? Good luck opening it this time. And if they do manage to open it, it gives the opportunity for them to fire back when they might not have been able to do so last time. I like it from Rogue. I like teams that adapt, Ace. It makes me think they're thinking with mere seconds between rounds, and it's really critical thinking as well, because mind you, coaches don't get to speak. And he's going to bandit trick it as well? Oh, this is awesome.
Rips is just waiting to use that information. He's got his bandit battery in hand, and as soon as any projectile hard breach comes in there onto that mirror window, you know that that battery's getting slapped down, and he's going to keep that glass in place for as long as possible. Now, Prano's rotated around. He's going to open the wall through into construction, so I like this from Secret. It shows a bit of adaptation on their part as well. They're not going to rinse and repeat. They're not just going to completely push on the jacuzzi side. This time, they are deciding to mount pressure from multiple angles. Now, in goes that Selma.
Rips?
Ooh, Rips has to dip away. He's not having any of that fight, and that is the mirror window now basically rendered useless into bathroom. This is good progress for Team Secret.
I understand that we're grenading, which was the perfect counter to someone bandit tricking on a mirror window, and they're actually going to have to use that Selma there to be able to dispatch of it fully. Draven still has a whole Selma to work with here. So even though Maverick and Habana are banned, Secret are bringing the other 2 hard breaching operators, and it's like those 2 bans don't mean anything to them. They seem so comfortable with these 2 hard breachers, Ace. For me personally, this early game from Secret is so incredibly strong. It is such a shame that they're not converting it into rounds, because I'd love to be able to turn around and say to the viewers and other teams, their attacking coordination is really strong.
Corey is out there on the roam as the Jaeger downstairs and looking to make an impact, but I'm not sure about the operator choice there. Obviously, Jaeger doesn't have the nitro to hand that Rips does potentially, so there could have been more value in having him downstairs. Prano now planting, and that could be challenged from the hatch which is open. There is a man from Secret on that double window of billiards to try and prevent that, and we get kills raining in both directions, but the plant goes down successfully. It's all going in Rogue's favour right now, though, as Corey plays a brilliant flank up the main stairs, finds himself 2. Sleben starts to challenge from the windows. He is the last man here. He is the one between victory and loss here in round number 6. Aces gets onto the diffuser. Out comes a run out from Corey. He will manage to down Sleben. Cryan finishes him off, and that's going to allow Aces to successfully disable the diffuser there. And that was a great collapse back onto site from Rogue once the plant had gone down.
This is just a nightmare for Secret. Imagine you do everything right. Like, I'll give you the best analogy I can give you, Ace. Imagine you go to a set of lights and you push the little button to, let you cross the road. You're waiting. You're not walking when there's a little red person on the light. It goes green. You look left. You look right. You look left again. Everything's looking safe. You start to cross and then boom. Everything should have gone your way crossing that road. But for whatever reason here for Secret, they're getting to the last 20 seconds of a round where the execute looks really promising. They even get the player down behind that default reinforcement. Where do they all go? Where do all the post-plant crossfires happen? Why is someone crouching in shower getting absolutely blasted by a Vector? How is Secret dropping the ball from looking like a tier 1 team, a top 5 tier 1 team in the early round, to just bleh in the late round? I don't understand.
That's the descriptive that I come for, Jess. That's the descriptive that I stay for. This is just bleh. That's the. I was gonna compliment your breakdown of the green cross code as well, but I'm guessing that it's probably not called that in Australia. You probably have no idea what I'm talking about with the green cross code, about crossing the road safely. That's what we call it in the UK. It's like a whole thing. Yeah, it's like they used to make pamphlets and stuff. It's like a whole thing, the green cross code.
Well, that was unintentional by me, but I mean, if the shoe fits for multiple regions, put it on, ladies and gentlemen, because that's what Secret is right now. They're doing everything right, and then for whatever reason, that's a little love tap.
Sometimes you gotta take them, Jess. You just gotta take them. Let's try and know that his teammates care enough to shoot him in the back as he's setting off and take 25 HP. Rogue are going to start their round 7 push towards CCTV and Cash Den, and it's a concerning first site choice for me. I commented on this coming in today, and that is that teams have been struggling to defend here successfully quite often so far in this stage. And Team Secret, when they're already struggling and 5-1 down, this is the site they choose. It could be a tough one to hold Rogue out from, because they have looked very, very good so far today. If I look at the previous stats, 50-50 win rate for Rogue here on CCTV Cash. We've only seen them attack it twice, but they have won it once, lost it once. They have got the diffuser down when they did win it. So that's something that Team Secret really need to focus on here, is keeping that diffuser off the ground.
Well, if we're talking about statistics here, Ace, then, on the side of Secret, on this particular site, it's usually a 50-50 as to whether they win it or not. That's how close it is in stats, but they almost have a 3 times that of win rate downstairs. So for Secret, they are far more comfortable downstairs than they are upstairs. Speaking of upstairs, up on the catwalk is Draven, getting absolutely blasted by every single little bit of utility the attackers can throw at him, and rips from outside. He'll catch him on the rotate out. Beautiful headshot to get that garage control with more than 60 seconds left. We called Secret speed here, Ace, but it looks like Rogue, they've got a little thing to say about that.
Not the end of the world for Rogue there either. Losing Cryan, they may have lost some nades along with him. I'm not sure if both have been used. Very potentially both have been used up onto that catwalk anyway to try and clear Draven. But what it means is they've got catwalk control, they've got the breach open. So now, if you picture a top down of this site, you've got, imagine a line of sight going from East Breach over towards that cash door. So nobody can move in from red door or cash door into site, and also nobody then, once you've got the garage control, can move in from the red stairs to challenge. So you've got a clear space right in front of us there. Once they get that wall open, that's where the diffuser's going down, and that is what Team Secret are building towards here. Leon is in position, diffuser in hand. There is one job left for them to do here. Look at the top of your screen. Look how Secret are just penned back into sight here, and they have limited options to be able to challenge onto this plant. 7, he finds himself a kill onto Leon, but Aces gets one back for himself, 3 versus 3. That could disrupt this plant from going down though, so that is a big play from Sleben, but Aces makes his way up the red stairs. He creeps his way into sight and starts finding kills. Corey finds the diffuser and starts putting it down on the ground. He has to stick this. The time is out, and he does so successfully. 2 versus 2, finds himself a kill in the aftermath as well, taking the life of Hive, and he finds himself now in a 1 versus 2. Prano here has got a lot of work to do to keep Team Secret fighting. He's going to lose his breath, going to lose his life to Rips out on the rappel, and that was a very nice attack from Rogue.
You ever just want to like just sigh, just let it all out, let your frustrations out? That's how I feel about Secret. I'm just sighing. Match point already, another possible 7-1 in a match that, let's be honest, was a lot closer than the Kavana and Team Empire match. Let's be, brutally honest here. And I hope that's a pause timer for a timeout, because Team Secret, they've got one to use. They should damn well use it. And that's why you're coming back to our faces, because when you are 6 rounds behind, really making it to OT and getting yourself even a point in hand, that should ring a big amount of alarm bells. Ace, how can Rogue in the chaos, numbers disadvantage, get in and get the plant down, and Secret, numbers advantage, time advantage, everything advantage, can't? How does Rogue do it, but Secret can't? I'm mind blown. I'm sorry.
My big concern there for that defense from Team Secret is, how does Aces get up red stairs? Because you've got Leon on catwalk.
Yes.
I'm not sure where the kill came in from Sleben. That's the one bit of information in my mind that I'm missing to piece all this together. You've got Leon up on catwalk. I don't recall. Was he studying cash on the desk possibly, and he's got the kill? I don't know. But one way or another, Aces just walks up red stairs, and that is it. At that point, Team Secret are almost looking good. They're fighting. They've put Leon down. Diffuser's cold on the ground. They've leveled man count, and then it's like a fox has got into the hen house at that point. It's just feathers everywhere because Aces is up the red stairs. There's just chaos.
Well, I think this scoreline is screaming absolute chaos to us. I think the desk had said we want Prano to be unleashed. Free our man Prano. Get him out there on the prowl. Prowling Prano, if you want to call him that. And he's done anything but that. So it's the Draven show here today, ladies and gentlemen, and not even Draven could pull everyone up alongside him to get more than a single round here on a map where, if I pull up their stats and I go, how are they looking on Clubhouse? Statistically, in the past 6 months, they've got an 80% win rate. Go to every other map that is under Team Secret's playability here in the current map pool. If you take away Theme Park, of which they had the 100% win rate because they played it once, this is their best map by over 20% of win rate. So if you can't win this, or even worse to say, if you can't even get more than 1 round on this map, what chance do you have on other maps?
I think one of the problems for Team Secret is that Sleben is the only constant at this point in time. He's once again going well, 9 and 5. He's got kills in important areas. He's brought them back into 1 or 2 rounds. But they need consistency from those other players right now to Team Secret.
I really feel, because honestly, Team Secret on their attacks earlier round really impressed me. I am honestly very sorry for them, because they're going to sit there and think everything they're doing is wrong. But it's not, boys. You've got the recipe for success. You just need to turn the oven down to 180 instead of 200. That's all it is at the end of the round. That's all you need. This is a good kickoff to the round, though, here, Ace. That's a nice little stoppage of that dirt rush that Leon tried to employ. He's negative in kills, but he might be positive in the impact that he's had as the support player at IGL. Yet to be seen. But now that he's dead, oftentimes IGLs get that little bit extra room to breathe and spectate everyone else. And that can actually be more dangerous than them being alive. But, oh, boy, peekaboo and good night, says Sleben. You spoke about him before. over, and now he's activated.
Driven and Sleben just proving once again that they are the dynamic duo here inside of Clubhouse for Team Secret, and it's something that Rogue are going to have to deal with. As you say, just being alive and alert to the danger to be able to shut down the rush, but it has just really taken the wind out of Rogue's sails on the attack here. Rips is going to try to push that dirt tunnel once again. Honestly, I don't think that he gets away with it. Crying is trying to push from blue. It just looks like right now Team Secret are well aware of everything that Rogue are trying to do, but they're not aware of Aces moving round. Just manages to flick round the 90 and find the kill onto the man behind the mirror. Now, Crying gets involved as well. 3 versus 3, and all of a sudden Team Secret have let a good lead slip away, and this is something that we've seen time and time again. Rips, he's going to be able to get this diffuser down. Prano is not in a position to stop him, especially since those boxes have been planted higher. 2 versus 2. The diffuser has gone down here, and 30 seconds left for Team Secret to keep themselves fighting on Clubhouse. Prano will find shots onto one, but his oppo, Gomfe, is downed. He's going to be out for all intents and purposes. Right now, 1 versus 1. This is all down to Crying. This is all down to this gunfight. Does Prano take the opportunity to pick his man up? It's surely too late. No, Crying finds him from blue, shuts down the round for Rogue, and that's going to be the map and the match as well. What a great performance coming out of Rogue. 7-1, and Leon, he's off again.
I cannot believe what I've just seen in front of my eyes. Rogue, they're back, baby, in full force. And you can see Crying there. He goes, I can't believe that man just run out in front of me. Like, what was he doing? I very much agree. I'm sure he's saying some other things there, but it doesn't really matter. I'm going to do the voiceover for him. And wow, what a game for Rogue to be able to really solidify that they are back in business.